going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on in to One TS Daily right here on One True Sport. I'm your host, Zack Heydorn from Brass Ring Media. Pumped to be here, and we are here every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11 Eastern, to talk the news of the day, the news of the week in professional wrestling. We will cover quite a bit today, so strap on in because we've got a lot to talk about. Thanks so much for being here. If you're listening to us and watching me on YouTube, hello. If you are watching on Twitter, hello. If you've downloaded this as an audio podcast and you are a member of One True Sport, hi. Thanks so much for pressing play and checking out One TS Daily. Very much appreciate it. Couple plugs to get out of the way first, guys. We have merch. Have you checked out the One True Sport merch channel yet? Not merch channel, merch website. Go to onetruesport.com. Hit the little merch tab. Got some really cool stuff. We got like One True Sport branded stuff, Pro Wrestling Legend branded stuff. We even have a One TS Daily, One TS Daily shirts and hats and all sorts of cool stuff. Check it out. Support One True Sport by getting a nice shirt or t-shirt, sweatshirt. If we are heading into the fall, although it doesn't feel like it. It's going to be 100 degrees where I am today. So it doesn't feel like fall's right around the corner, but I suppose it is. But anyway, onetruesport.com. There you can also find all of our membership options for One True Sport. And as members, you get this show as an audio podcast if you want it, but you also can get access to legends like Kurt Angle, legends to Arn Anderson, legends like Medusa and Rob Van Dam. It's a really fun way. My dog is licking something over there. It's a really fun way to engage with One True Sport, engage with our product, but engage with some of your favorite wrestlers. So become a member. Try us out at onetruesport.com. If you're watching the video here on YouTube, please hit like. It helps us out greatly if you can do that. Helps us out with the algorithm. Helps us out to meet and find new wrestling fans who are just like you. So thank you in advance for that. If you haven't subscribed, well, obviously do that. Definitely subscribe. And then check out my shop over at Brass Ring Media. We've got lots of long-form content, long-form analysis of All In. I've got my match ratings up for All In right now on the Brass Ring Media Substack newsletter that we do daily. I'll have my Raw report up pretty soon there. So great time to head over there and check that out. Again, it's Brass Ring Media on YouTube and Substack. Cool. What's going on, Liam? Liam's in our chat. Hello, Liam. Thanks so much for being here. He says, yo, Zach, yo. What's going on? All right, let's start off talking last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, which I thought had some really good material on it, top to bottom. First and foremost, though, probably the most newsworthy item of the show is going to be the debut of Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, has not wrestled up until this point. And he got his debut match yesterday against Chad Gable. He wins with Sister Abigail. No surprise there. But my question to you guys is, do you think it worked? Do you think it worked with Uncle Howdy? Was it what you expected? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. We do have super chats open, by the way, in addition to the live chat. So if you want to get a question in and you want to kind of jump the line on questions and comments, you definitely can do that with the super chat, and any little bit helps us out greatly. So thank you in advance for that and for your support in that regard. But what do we think about Uncle Howdy wrestling? I was mixed on it, to be frank. I thought it was a good match. I thought the match worked in some ways. Here's why I thought it was good. I think it was good to present Uncle Howdy in a way where he's not like this superhuman creature that just can't be beat. That was the problem with The Fiend. It was like, who's gonna beat this guy? Like, nobody's gonna beat this guy. He's too good. He's a super villain, right? So to that end, it's like, well, what do you do with him? How does he sell? How do you get sympathy? How does he do anything that pro wrestlers need to do? If he's just this superhuman, horror movie villain, he can't. And what I liked about Bo Dallas last night was that he was more of just like guy wrestling, that can have diminishing returns, I think, because it can kind of take the shine off of Bo Dallas and off of Uncle Howdy. But I think that especially as a babyface, it's essential to be able to do that in a wrestling match and be able to convey that you're getting beat up and you're getting hurt. You have to have that. So I'm glad they didn't go the route of just, okay, he's going to go out there and squash Chad Gable in 5 seconds, right? This made sense to me in that regard. What I didn't like was the mask. And Sean, what's going on, Sean? Sean mentions in the chat here, he does need to get rid of the mask. Yeah, he really does. I mean, it was odd. Just an odd choice to see him wrestle in the mask because the rest of his people aren't wrestling in the mask. They've removed the masks for their match. And I thought that worked really, really well. It was like, yes, they're these lost souls. Yes, they're kind of like assuming the kind of the embodiment of the characters from Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. But in the end, they're just people wrestling, trying to win matches. Like that makes it easy to transition from crazy gimmick into a in-ring product. And I thought that would have worked just fine for Uncle Howdy. Like come down in the mask, come down with all the circumstance and the drama and the special effects and all of that. Keep that all the same. But when it comes time to wrestle, take the mask off. I think he was hurt with the mask because just like the Fiend, like it was so cool looking when it was dark in the arena or when they did like the red light, not during matches, but just, at other points. But when the special effects were on, I think those masks popped. Same thing with Uncle Howdy. I think when he's like in the light and the darkness and he's doing his entrance, like that mask looks cool. But when the lights come on, it just kind of was this like plain green mask. You can kind of see his beard a little bit. You can see his face, his mouth a little bit. It didn't have the same kind of, spark or menace to it that it had when the lights were off. And so so why not just lose it at that point? Why, make the mask mean something, let him wear it when it can fit him best and when it can work for him and not work against him. And I thought in the wrestling match itself, it just worked against him. I thought it was just too it just didn't look good. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I just don't think it looked good for what they were trying to present, like plain and simple. And so I would definitely pivot from that without question. But that said, I think that, they've got a bit of a formula here that they can work with, as long as it's in this part of the card. As soon as, if this were to like be something that, where Bo Dallas is going to get up against Gunther or something like that for the world title, then I think it's a total overreach as far as where this act is. But in the middle of the card, like with American Made and with Chad Gable, like that's a fine spot for this to be. And then, you kind of work out the kinks here. And if you can get it to a better position, or you can get it even more over than it already is, okay, then take it there if you see that. But you don't want to force it. You don't want to force it into a main event spot because it's not at this point. And so I like that it's like occupying this position on the card, and they're getting mileage out of it. They're able to get a couple segments out of it every week, and also look, they've main evented now I think 2 Raws with Wyatt Six stuff. One with the trios, the trios match with the Wyatt Six faction, and then last night with with Uncle Howdy and his debut. So they're getting enough out of this. I think at this point in time, they got to just clean up the mask stuff. To me, and even with that, like, it's not going to like kill the Bo Dallas gimmick or kill the Uncle Howdy gimmick. I just think, you want to be consistent with like the rest of the group who's not wrestling in their wild masks, right? And B, it's just more effective. It's more effective in that regard. So why not do that? Maybe they saw that last night. We'll see. Maybe they saw that exact thing that we're talking about, and they said, "Hey, look, okay, we're not going to do that anymore." That would be an interesting pivot and a better way to feature the Bo Dallas in the ring. But overall, I still give this a thumbs up. I still want to know where ultimately they go. I mean, we've got this feud with American Made right now, but the promo that Bo Dallas cut was a kind of, I don't know, it was kind of reminiscent of Bray Wyatt stuff that kind of like meandered and never really landed anywhere. It was fun to watch and it was interesting to listen to, but it just didn't land. It just kind of was out there and going, and then it was over. So I still think they need, to work on defining who they are and what they're doing, and that all that remains the same. But I think still, they've got something here. And, I like the slow drip of getting it out in front of people. And last night was big for that. I'm curious to see what the rating is going to be and how much, Uncle Howdy in a match was able to kind of hold viewers into that third hour. I think we'll get a taste here of just how popular the Uncle Howdy Wyatt Six stuff is, based on numbers, like using them and using this match and using this debut to kind of hold the audience's attention. We'll know how much interested there is in the faction. Sean jumped back in here with a comment saying it's not main event at all. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not, and it's good that they've recognized that. It's really good that they've recognized that. So, also on Raw last night, did we get a babyface go home promo from Randy freaking Orton? I mean, when is the last time we were able to say that? I mean, seriously, like, even when Randy Orton was like in his like prime and working babyface, we never got babyface Randy Orton go home promos. Like, that's not really the Randy Orton we know and love, is it? Right? I mean, he's not a guy that has been tasked with standing in the middle of the ring and talking about A, himself, B, his opponent, and C, like putting over a match. That's just not something that we have seen from Randy Orton. And there he is last night in the middle of the ring doing just that. No confrontation with Gunther, nobody walking out to interfere, just Orton, a microphone, and the audience. Like, I thought it was very good. I thought it was an excellent segment. I thought you really got to kind of see, better into the personality of Randy Orton, like the person, the guy. I like that he kind of owned up to, I was kind of a jerk for a long, long time in my career. And that's how I know you're a jerk. And that's how I can deal with jerks, because I was one. Like, I liked kind of like owning everything that Gunther could possibly say about him. And then, just kind of accepting that, but then moving on and talking about how he's grown. It's kind of like, remember that, like the final rap battle in the movie 8 Mile? Who's seen 8 Mile? Like, thumbs up in the chat if you've seen 8 Mile. Can't believe we're talking about 8 Mile here, but alas. And like, he does that last rap where like he says out loud in his rap everything that the guy that's going to rap against him says. And so then he leaves the guy with nothing to say. And that's kind of what this was like. It was like Randy Orton is out there just spitting facts, telling the truth about his past and his history. And then that's it. And then you accept that it's out there in the open, and people still love him for it. I thought it was a really like kind of constructed piece of business, and it made you want to see Randy Orton win the world title and beat Gunther. And that's all. I mean, obviously, that's the point of that's the point of a promo anyway, right? Is to like sell matches, sell characters, sell gimmicks, sell feuds. That's the idea. And I thought they did that here. I thought he did that here on his shoulders with his story. He was able to do that. Now, I don't think that he's going to win the world title, right? I mean, I don't think that that's in the cards at this point. Maybe not ever again, but certainly not over Gunther right now. But the idea is, can you convince the fans that maybe he will, or can you at least get them to invest in the journey, even if they know deep down that it probably is not going to happen? Yeah, that's the goal. And I think that they've done that here. And a big part of it is Gunther, for sure. He's a great heel, but another really big part of it is Randy, and that's key. And he's more over now as a babyface than he ever was. So I'd say just let him go. Let him keep doing this thing until the wheels fall off. I know, Sean says here in the chat, you can still lay the groundwork for a heel turn soon on Cody. Yeah, I mean, that's out there. That's definitely out there. I just don't know. Like, if that's in the cards, but you see how fans are reacting to Randy right now, it's tough because Randy Orton's done it all. He's wrestled most everybody on the roster. As a babyface, he's third, fourth in the company. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley. I don't know. I put like Damian Priest maybe above him, Seth Rollins when he's around, Punk. Like, he's just kind of like down on the bottom of the babyface list. So I could see why you'd want to turn him heel, because then he could work with Cody. He can work with Punk. He can work with Roman at some point. I mean, like, there's a lot of people he could work with if he was a heel. But he's clicking on all cylinders right now. So it's like, man, it'd be tough to turn him. But I would understand it if they did, without question. What's up, Matthew? Thanks so much for being here, man. Appreciate it. Always glad to have you tune in. Guys, live chat's open if you're listening live on YouTube or Twitter. Super chats are open as well if you're able and willing to make a contribution. Both those are open, so take advantage if you want. Love seeing this live chat rocking and rolling here. So great to see. All right, a couple more things on Raw, and then we'll get to another bit into some sad news with Sid. I want to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll preview NXT. How about that Bronson Reed Braun Strowman match? Goodness gracious! Like, you had Bronson Reed essentially win the match, right? But I thought that they delivered exactly what was promised, or what WWE tried to sell you. It wasn't like a half-hearted effort to have like the big guys fight each other. They went all out. And I think they found something with Bronson Reed. And it's funny to compare like Bronson Reed. It's funny that he was wrestling Braun Strowman last night, because a lot of what they're doing with Bronson Reed right now is the same formula that got Braun Strowman over back in the day. Like, with the big stunts, the big power, all that was central, like week in and week out, was central to getting Braun Strowman over. Remember when he tipped over the ambulance with Roman Reigns inside of it? Like, it was stuff like that got him over. Here with Bronson Reed, it's a little bit different, but same kind of idea. It's just that they're featuring the finisher, the tsunami. And I really like what they're doing with him. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a guy that you're not going to put the company on his shoulders, but hopefully here you're building up somebody that can wrestle Braun Breaker as a babyface at some point for the IC title, or maybe he can wrestle Seth Rollins for a singles championship, or maybe he can, if Cody Rhodes comes over to Raw for the Netflix deal and they need to have a quick title program, like that can happen. I just think that he's being treated with white gloves, like a guy that they really do care about. The car spot yesterday when the glass like blew out of the sides when the tsunami was done on top of it, like, that was a great spot. A really cool moment, really cool for him. So I like that match a lot, and it was different from the other type of matches that you saw on the show. Like I thought the multi-person tag to open the show was really, really good, but totally different from this. So Bronson Reed is just a different type of star in WWE. I think that's important to have on your show. You don't want the same thing over and over and over for 3 hours. You want it to be different. You want people to look different. You want people to act different. And I think that's what we're seeing here with Bronson Reed. Matthew says here in the chat, Triple H made a new main event monster in a matter of weeks. Yeah, it's amazing what a little bit of focus and good performances can do for you. And he's reaping the benefits of that right now. And Bronson Reed is in a better position than he's been since joining the main roster this last month. So heck yeah, it's been a really good run for him. And then finally, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Boy, it was not a good week for CM Punk. Drew McIntyre owned him on the microphone in the middle of that ring. I think that if you knew that Drew McIntyre was going to go down the road that he did and call Punk out for some of the stuff that he said last week, as Punk the babyface, I think you needed to respond. I think you needed to respond to some of this, because basically what happened was Drew McIntyre said he was afraid. Drew McIntyre said he was afraid to fight him because he attacked him from behind. He ran down his family. He ran down his impact on the company. And then Punk's reaction was to attack him from behind again. It just wasn't a good look for him at all. I just thought, like, what are we doing here? I wrote a long column for Brass Ring Media. It's on Substack right now. I hope you guys check it out. I hope you guys go over there and subscribe to our Substack content. We've got written work with our style that goes up every day. And I wrote a column about CM Punk and about like what the hell's going on with him. Because he's missing the boat. He's missing the point. He's missing an opportunity to make an impact. And last night just showed me like that, that's not a good booking night. That's not good booking. That's not good storytelling. That's not a good way to present your babyface. And so I know that, CM Punk doesn't want to rock the boat. I know that he doesn't want to come across as difficult to work with, but boy, when you get pitched that, to me, you got to say something. You got to be like, wait a minute, he's calling me out for attacking from behind and I'm going to attack him from behind. Like, I think you could have done the same exact brawl, except have Punk walk down the ramp, stand right in front of Drew McIntyre, and brawl. Easy. It actually totally counteracts what Drew was saying about him. And so I think they just missed with him last night. Drew was great. Drew was really fun to watch, and Drew was a good heel, and Drew did his thing. But Punk really was sacrificed for that. Now, I don't know if it's because he's going to get the win. My guess is he's going to. Bad blood looms. And I think that's where they wrap this feud up. But, man, yeah, I just did not think it was a good night for Punk, albeit the brawl was fine, and it worked, and it, kind of was a one final short chapter before they have a match on Saturday at Bash in Berlin. But, yeah, not a good look for CM Punk. That's Raw. It was a good Raw overall. How do you guys grade it? Thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. Let's hear it. Let's see it. I thought it was a good show, top to bottom. Again, with some issues, but yeah. All right, let me take care of a little bit of business over here. Okay, Matthew says here, Punk could have tapped him on the shoulder from behind, have Drew turn around, and then Punk slaps the living daylights out of him. Then the brawl begins. Yeah, something like that. Something that doesn't come across as like a sneak attack, which is exactly what Drew McIntyre called him out for, right? Like that's what you want to avoid. And there, but there he was, just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Punk, and that's the essence of the column that I wrote. But this week, you know, clearly he didn't take anything I said to heart, and we do know he reads it, obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, they got to figure it out with him because, you know, week in and week out, I think his character gets more neutered, you know, week in, week out. And this week was no different. All right, we also had the news yesterday that Psycho Sid Vicious passed away after a battle with cancer. You know, tough news. I mean, God, I was trying to think of what to say about Psycho Sid, and in looking at his career, you know, it was, and I just did some quick research, you know, from a just Wikipedia perspective, watched a couple matches. You know, he had that, I think it was a Survivor Series match or SummerSlam match against Shawn Michaels. I forget, the one at the Garden, I think, where like the crowd kind of turns on Shawn. That was such a fun match. I liked that match a lot, and you just forget that he did a lot in wrestling. He was world champion multiple times. He wrestled Hulk Hogan at a WrestleMania. He main evented it, WrestleMania 13, about 25 minutes from here, with the Undertaker. Like, it's Survivor Series 96. That's what it is. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Matthew, who caught it. And Liam got it as well. Survivor Series 96. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know that he's known. Like, he's not really known for that. Like, I don't think when you think of WrestleMania main eventers, you think of Psycho Sid Vicious. You know, neither of those matches that he had are very good. And, fine. He's not that kind of a wrestler, but he did have a presence. And he did have, like, he does have a place in wrestling history for, you know, fans of like that pre-Attitude Era, like that Bret, Shawn, Undertaker, Diesel era. You know, Psycho Sid is there. You know, he's there for it. He's a part of that. He had his run in WCW too, where I don't, you know, I was just about to say the same thing Matt said here, or Sid in WCW was a missed opportunity. Yeah, I don't think they got nearly enough out of him. And I also remember with that injury, I'll never forget. I'll never be able to unsee that injury that he had in the ring, where he jumps off like I think it was the second rope, and his leg just like turns to the side, and it's so tough to watch. But it was sad to hear that news, because I think he does have a place in wrestling. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, can we think of any other WrestleMania main eventers that weren't in the Hall of Fame, or that aren't still active, of course? I don't think so. So he should be, and I think he will be. And yeah, it was just tough to hear that. So, you know, RIP to Psycho Sid, and thoughts go out to his family and his friends. And he certainly had an impact on this business when he had the chance to. Yeah, tough to hear that. Tough to hear that news. I thought WWE did a nice tribute video to him yesterday. Always amazes me, those tribute videos, that they could just pull them together on such short notice, that they know where all the footage is. Pretty amazing. But I thought they did a nice job of kind of painting the picture of his career. And so it was good to see that. Good to see them take the time to do that and recognize, his place in their company history. That was important. Oh, got something's talking to me online. All right. Okay, let's preview NXT tonight. It's a go-home show. If you didn't know, we got Bash in Berlin, a PLE on Saturday afternoon, and then we have a PLE on Sunday night with NXT and NXT No Mercy. And this is the go-home show of No Mercy tonight on NXT. We are going to get a Joe Hendry concert. Javon Evans versus Joe Coffey. Wes Lee and Zach Wentz will meet face-to-face. Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne, and Ren Sinclair will face Channing Lorenzo, Luca Crucifino, and Adriana Rizzo in a 6-person tag. So we'll have that. Izzy Dame is going to wrestle Carmen Petrovich, And the Fatal Influence, a new group, Fallon Henley, JC Jane and Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. Or excuse me, Fallon Henley and JC Jane will take on Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. So, yeah, I'm expecting. I want to see like how hot everything is for Joe Hendry. You know, he's got a title match against Ethan Page. Will they pull the trigger on it? I don't know. But I think what we hear and see tonight is going to be pretty telling as far as where they go with this, where they go with it on Sunday. So exciting show. We'll cover all this. We'll cover it tomorrow on 1TS Daily, so you don't have to worry if you miss it for some reason. Join us here. Tune in here, and you will and you'll be able to check it out. Cool. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks to everybody who joined us in the chat. It's a blast hearing from you. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, others. Make sure you like this video. Helps us out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube. I appreciate it. David says, hi, guys. Bye, guys. Hey, David. Hi, bye. It's 11 Eastern, my friend. 11 Eastern. I'm just kidding, man. Thanks so much for being here. Hopefully you can catch the show on delay. But yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. And also, again, check out our work. Check out my work and my team's work and our team's work at Brass Ring Media. I think you'll like what we do there. We have a YouTube channel, all free, and a Substack, all free. We do offer membership if you want to check that out and support us that way. Patreon.com/BrassRingMedia. It's $4 a month, and we offer a free week trial. If you want to give that trial a go, you can right now and check out our All-In Review show. Join our Discord. You get full access to everything. Full access to everything that we do, free for a week to see whether or not you want to keep going. Awesome, cool, guys. We'll be back tomorrow right here, 11 Eastern on One True Sport. This is 1TS Daily. I'm Zack Heydorn. Thanks so much again. Have a great Tuesday, you guys, and we'll talk real soon. See ya.